Welcome to Concilium Historic Imperialis' book club. I'm Decurio Umhar with Decurio Chamlan, and today we are discussing Book 3 of the Dawn Fire series titled The Wolftime by Gav Thorpe. If you like what we do, feel free to support us on patreon.com/Concilium Historic Imperialis. There you can gain early access to our videos, access bonus content, and have a chance to vote on what projects we do next in our lorecast. Your help and support are greatly appreciated. Thank you. Now, without further ado, let's get into it. Chamlan.
EMR. What time is it? What time is it?
It's the wolf time.
Oh, God. See, you were supposed to let me do the thing where I could. It's the roof time.
It's a wolf time, yo. Yeah, guys, before we get into this, full disclaimer, this was really rough for both of us, and we're going to try and not be unkind, and we are going to fail, but full disclosure, we did try. Okay.
I do think EMR has stated that he's going to be much rougher than I am, but
We're gonna see how it goes. Like, objectively, we try to, read these books, even if we don't want to, in order to help the fans through the pacing and storyboarding and all the other shit that comes with it. So just, please understand that we are giving our objective opinions and we personally didn't like it, but it doesn't mean that you won't. So
okay,
just
enough quantification.
yeah. What were your expectations about the book before you read it, and did it meet those expectations?
So, like I said, the only expectations you can ever get from the back of the book in nothing in book two hints at book three that I recall. It hints at stuff in book five,
Mm,
but nothing in book two tells me, oh, next book is Fenris.
yeah.
Um, which is interesting, I guess, in terms of that. So I didn't really have any expectations that were from the back of the book. I was in terms of like book two leading into three, like I was expecting more orcs, and we had essentially none. Um, I don't know. They're like a set dressing. They're not. It doesn't feel like they're actually there.
Yeah.
They try to tell me like, oh, this is a major orc threat to Fenris. And like, no, they're not. The only threat to Fenris is Fenris
Yeah.
as we get there eventually.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, did it live up to my expectations? I mean, like 20% of my expectations, because I expected it to be a giant orc fight.
That's still pretty high. That's pretty high percentages right there.
I guess. I mean, it had the only reason is that it had orcs and space wolves, and that was like 10%, right?
Right, right. You'd think it would have been more, but yeah,
It should have,
it
but
it 100% should have been more. On my end, I had low expectations for the book, and unfortunately, those expectations were met wholesale. That being said, one of the major complaints I had is something that you just addressed, which was a severe lack of work on Space Wolf violence. And
they had like what do we have? We had the first little bit, which we'll get there later, but like stop starting the books with a dream sequence. It's happened. This is the third time it happened. It doesn't mean anything anymore. If you keep doing the joke, it's not funny. It's not even good. It's
yeah,
just like, oh, here's another dream. It's like, I stop telling me this thing's filled with dreams. I hate that. Stop
yeah.
telling me dreams. It makes sense, I guess, and since it was a bit of it, but like, it's just like, come on. It's like we're starting with another dream. Just start the book.
You know, excellent point, because I agree with you wholesale. Two extra times is one time, perhaps two times too many, you know? I understand what Gav Thorpe was going for, though, just because when it comes to like the way that the Space Wolves deal with like warp visions and the phenomena and what they,
Because they're super special boys who get to treat it differently than everybody else because they're super special.
well, I mean, you and I both know that they're just basic ass psychers, just like everybody else. They just
Yeah.
got a weird veneer coat of paint that says it's something different and it's
It's
not.
the world spirit.
Yeah.
No, it's just the word. But
Yeah. Yeah.
just because you believe it's something different doesn't make it something different. I guess
Indeed.
technically it does, but like there aren't enough of you to make this happen.
I suppose the only saving grace for them is because of the discipline that goes into the understanding of how they handle warp phenomenon and like how they view the warp in general. There are afforded a little bit more stay of hand and grace just because of
No,
that.
they're afforded a stay of hand and grace because, as Goldman said, they're a first founding chapter, and that gives them leeway.
Yeah.
That's why.
I have opinions about, that bit, but we'll get into it
Sorry,
later.
what were the rest of your expectations were
Man, I
low?
genuinely wanted more old time
We're
space
talking about
violence.
how many orc fights are.
Yeah.
There's the first bit on the
Uh-huh.
Hulk, then they leave. There's a little bit on Fenris, and they get dealt with, and then there's the last bit, the very, very, very last. There's 3 orc fights that involve space wolves.
Yeah.
There's 4 orc fights.
Mhm.
One of those doesn't involve space wolves. 75% of the orc fights in this book don't involve space wolves.
Yeah.
Oh wait, do involve space wolves.
Yeah.
Why isn't that 100% of the fights in this book?
I don't know, man. I think they were trying to go once again for like a large scope of like coverage.
Do
And
have orcs come back up throughout the rest of the series?
no, they
Okay,
they do not.
so it's irrelevant.
It is this whole book is irrelevant.
It really is.
It really is. All right, moving on. What did you like best about the book and what did you like least?
Okay.
Here we go. Here we
Let
go.
so I'll start with the one that I like, not that I like least, but I do really like, but I like less than the thing that I do absolutely love, which I feel like is probably the same thing as you. The bit with the Night Lord. So I don't know if Gav Thorpe has ever written erotica, but he needs to,
Yeah.
because I would read that. If there is ever a Warhammer romance series and Gav Thorpe isn't writing on it, they have failed. Because that bit with the Night Lord killing the commissar was the most phrased thing that I think I've ever read. Because
Oh my God. He may have introduced edging before edging was a thing on the online.
no, that's not.
Well, this when this book came out, it came
No,
out like
it came out like 3 years ago.
was it 3 years? Nah,
Come on.
I thought I don't know why, but
It's
I thought
not
it was like
it's not
08. I don't know why I thought it was 08, but I'm wrong. I'm very wrong. Even
yeah,
so, yeah, I agree with you.
like, I was reading that, and I was like, "Oh, this is better than 50 Shades of Grey."
Yeah.
Which don't read
Yeah,
50 Shades
please,
of Grey.
please.
It's a horrific, explanation of
Yeah, I
any
had to
kind
read
of
that because I was in a relationship, and now I regret both being in that
it
relationship and having read that book.
it's not a good exposure to that kind of a lifestyle
It's
by any means.
unrealistic.
But that Night Lord, he
Oh,
knew what he was about. Um, either way, that was my second liked thing, but the first thing, and I think I feel like we probably both agree, is Gaia's teardown of the
yeah.
Space Wolves. It's a ringing indictment of the so here's the thing, this book is probably not for fans of Space Wolves, honestly.
Yeah.
But this book is for people who think Space Wolves are overblown. And Gaius gives this like 2-page long teardown of just what he thinks about how the chapter has been acting to him and the rest of the Primaris this entire time, and not a single word of it's wrong.
Absolutely
Um,
brilliant. Yeah.
they've been doing nothing but being whining pups this entire book and complaining. And Gaius is just like, you are without a doubt the saddest people that I've ever had the displeasure to be around,
Mm.
and I'm going to show you why I am worthy of you, but also better than you.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then
Yeah.
he kind of flops the landing on that, but whatever. We can get to that later.
Yeah. So, least liked.
Oh yeah. I mean, let's see here. They don't even blow up like the Space Hulk at the end of it. It's still there.
Yeah.
It's still above Fenris. They're like, the Space Hulk is the greatest threat the Space Wolves have ever faced in the Wolftime wolves, and they don't deal with it. The threat's not dealt with.
They use it as a training facility at the
It's like
end.
it's just there. It's just this thing that's hanging out around Fenris. And it's like, oh, cool. We can just throw wolves at it and train them. It's like, so this wasn't a threat to begin with. You guys blew this entire thing out of proportion because you're nut jobs, more so than most other chapters. I mean, don't get me wrong. Yeah, flesh terrors or dark angels, but like, you
Mhm.
just overblew this whole thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, so this was literally a non-problem. It's like, well, it was a problem because we had like 800 dudes and we didn't want to get more people. But now that we have more people, it's okay. It's like, oh my God. And then, yeah, the dream introduction.
Yeah.
This is firmly on my dislike at this point. Like, I can't remember how 4 starts, but if it's a dream introduction, then it's just, it's ridiculous.
I can't recall. It's been a minute since,
Um,
Gate of Light, I believe, is, or Throne of Light. Throne of Light is number 4, I believe.
So, like, and then it's the structure and the prose.
Mm,
A third of this book doesn't feel like it belongs with the other two-thirds of this book. Like, the Night Alert stuff feels so jarringly separate.
yeah.
It doesn't tie into anything at all, essentially.
It's just an introduction for Gaius.
But, like, it was better than the rest of the book. I would have rather read about this Night Lord campaign than I
Yeah.
would have read about the rest of the material in
Oh,
this
oh
book.
yeah, I wholeheartedly agree. Anytime the Night Lords are getting spanked by any other chapter, even other traitor legions, I am all for it.
I don't even care about the Night Lords losing. It's like this was just more interesting to me than the rest of the book. But like the issue is that the prose, he doesn't separate the POVs into separate chapters like the other books have done so far. So it just kind of bleeds into itself
Yeah,
and it feels weirder than the other two books because the other two books have set up this tone of like POV, 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 book over. Good. Even if we repeat points of view, they don't bleed them into each other. They
yeah,
separate them by chapters. And this one is just like,
they do it. Yeah, with the previous books, they did a really good job of if they did any bleed over, it was always at the end of the book, like because converging plot lines. So
yeah.
that makes sense. Gaius is now talking to Ida Torres, blah 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 blah.
Also, you
Yeah.
want to talk about this whole thing where they're like, oh, there's 40 chapters per book. There's 27 chapters in this book,
Yeah, this book is decidedly different, I noticed, than the other books.
except it's also 500 pages of
It didn't need to be 500 pages.
no.
That you could have shaved off like 150, I
As,
would say.
as soon as the teardown happens, it just feels like we're going through motions almost.
Yeah,
I know that there's other stuff that, like, is important here, but getting to the teardown took a long time, and
yeah.
then afterwards, it's like, we know that he's not gonna die.
Mhm.
Like, even though we don't know that he's not gonna die, it's like, we wouldn't waste this much time if we weren't gonna prove the Space Wolves wrong.
I mean, it wouldn't be the first time a Black Library author's done exactly that, so I don't know. Was it a twist? We'll get into that later. On my end of things, I didn't have a whole lot to like about this book, if I'm honest. For the sake of having an answer, I'd say I like Gaius's journey of self-discovery throughout. As to what I liked least, there's a lot. Narrowing it down for the sake of time, I'd say I dislike the characters featured in the Space Wolves plot. They came across severely obstinate and unengaging to me.
Now see, I do like Earl, the
Hmm.
one Space Wolf that was worth anything,
Oh, okay.
because he was the first one to accept Gaius, and he was like, we can give him a shot." I don't really even care about, like, the Fire Drake dude. Like, Earl is a cool dude. He's just being honest.
Yeah.
And he's not even being a jerk about it. He's like, "I don't think that you can be a true space without being a Pharisee."
Ye
But he's willing to be proven wrong.
Yeah, I believe that's the guy too that he rips into.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because he makes this comment, he's like, there are multiple space wolves on the flyer, and, like, somebody gives them a joke gift. It's like, "Ha, we're making fun of you even though you were literally the best shot here." It's like, "Well, the wind has to help you."
Yeah.
It's like, "Okay." It's
Hence,
like,
obstinate
you
and
it's
unengaging.
like it's like that meme of just like, "Screw you, screw you, screw you, screw you, screw you, you're
You're
okay.
cool.
Screw you, screw you, screw you, I'm jumping off the ship."
Yeah, peace, I'm out.
Earl is like the only space wolf that seems to have a head on their shoulders to be like, "Look, look, 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 look. Let's let's at least hear them out. We don't have to like, they're not Fenrisians, and like that means something to me.
Yeah.
But we should at least not be like, hey, go away."
The mindset of all the Fenrisian space wolves was just so obstinate and just difficult for no reason because these guys, even like the character that you've been going on about, even like he has a line where he says, "We need the Primaris." But then he goes immediately on the back foot around his other Fenrisian tribesmen and say, "Oh, well, they're not real Fenrisians."
Well, he's not he is not just those two statements are not incongruous with each other. They need space wolves, or they need Primaris Marines, but he doesn't believe that they're true space wolves. Is his point.
Yeah, no,
He likes Gaius. He thinks Gaius is a good space marine. He doesn't think that he can be a true space wolf without having been born on Fenris, which is like this whole thing of like so this gets into those to my point that I of like This feels like if we extrapolate it to very loose themes, it's the Romans coming to save the Saxons from their barbarity. That's what it is. It's the Romans coming to save the Saxons from their barbarity. That's what the Fenrisians fear. Robogulman, the Roman, is coming to the Saxons, the Space Wolves, to save them from their own barbarity and getting themselves killed.
Yeah, I mean, well,
And then there's like this whole bit of like, is this Last Samurai? Is this Dances with Wolves? Is this white savior complex?
see, I did that last one. The others I can concede to a certain point, but the last one I did not get white savior.
It's more in the sense of like, this pure marine is here to save the entire chapter from their foolishness. But again, Gaius kind of like flops that landing because he's like, no, it doesn't matter if everything that they say is true, because it's not. It matters that they believe. Because he was only having a near death hallucination experience and seeing a bunch of weird stuff because he read it in a book and his mind was half on and half off
Yeah,
at the
it's
same
starting
time.
to shut off.
Which I
Um,
guess is why space wolves can believe the stuff that they do, because 'cause they're all nut job near deaths.
yeah, yeah. I to finish up that bit, obstinate and unengaging to me. I understand that diehard Space Wolf fans might think differently, but given my already dislike of the chapter, it would make sense that I this is the impression I got.
Well,
And
here's the interesting thing, or I don't know about interesting, I guess, but, like, see, even Space Wolves fans do not like this, but it's because the Space Wolves are presented in such a way to be like, I legitimately feel that this book is for people who are like, "I don't really like the Space Wolves, but I don't wanna read somebody tossing over them and being like, "Oh, they're the greatest chapter. They're so cool because 'cause they're like, wolves and stuff and Norse." And it's like, yeah, but I don't need to read an author glazing them. Uh, this book is that where it's like, this is how people view Space Wolves if they don't actually like them.
yeah,
Um,
I was, if definitely was reinforcing my already existing dislike of the chapter.
well, it also it's weird in the sense of like for like 2 chapters, Logan stops acting like an obstinate pighead. And it's exactly the moment that Fenris is under direct threat because it's like, "If you don't stop this, we're gonna fire on you." He's like, "Well, we can't control it. Our entire anti-air system is all congruous with each other. If one goes, they all go." It's like, "That's not my problem. If it fires on us, we will like, if it fires on us, we're dead. So we will blow you up if we have to." It's like, "Well, yeah, but it'll start a war." It's like, "That's also not my problem. And if you destroy us, the entire fleet's gonna come here and glass your planet,
Yeah,
Logan."
no, that lieutenant wasn't pulling any punches.
And he should not.
He's a firstborn. It makes sense.
He
Like he wouldn't
doesn't.
pull any punches. Like, bro, I'm telling you right now, you do not want Gilman to have an excuse at all.
And then the second that gets resolved, he's back to being obstinate.
Yeah,
It's like, "Well, Guilliman's coming here, so we need to make sure that he has a proper entrance, don't we?" And then, like, Guilliman's entrance is like, "That's actually kinda nice, it's respectful." And
yeah.
then they go, like, 5 times harder for Logan. Is it Lorgar? No, it's Logan, right?
Logan
Logan Grimnar.
Grimnar.
Yeah. They go like 5 times harder for Logan's entrance, like, this makes you lame. This makes it much lamer for you to be like, "Oh, this is his entrance because he's like a wrestler or something." I just imagine there being a theme song.
Yeah, Logan definitely has,
It's like, come on.
what's that? Ruddy Piper's theme
Also,
song, 100%.
is this axe a demon axe or something, or is it
Yeah, it's a demon axe.
see, yeah, it was like, maybe it was like the demon axe just getting in Logan's head and making him be a that's one theory that I had of like, maybe this is just the axe making him be absolutely stupid. Because like, I've been told that like, "Oh, Logan's not actually supposed to be like this." Like, "Okay."
Yeah, no, it's uniquely the only time I have seen in books that I have read in and out of, like, focused Space Wolf books. Because remember, I read the Black Mane books, that they ever came across as severely obstinate for no reason. Like, at least in previous iterations of Logan Grimnar, when he was obstinate, it was for good cause. Because, like, the Inquisition was doing what the Inquisition does, and he ain't about, hurting civilians or people who, fight off a demon invasion or something like that. But, no, I don't know, man, like, this book just did a really good job of me disliking Space Wolves even more, and that's unfortunate because there should always be like a an inroad to, something that's really brilliant or awesome about any type of thing that the Black Library is covering, I feel. And yeah, credit where credit's due. They fight real good and they really are a tenacious chapter, but like just it ruined it
Well,
for
the
me.
issue is just like nothing happens.
That too. But like, because then the black main books, stuff goes down. It's engaging. It's almost like Hero Quest, and like this guy's going on a rip roaring rampage, serving the Space Wolves and being the best Space Wolf. And he's in the book, by the way, and he's the only, not the only, but he is a voice of reason against Logan during that weird conclave they had prior to Gilliman's arrival. And he's just like, we should take the Primaris. 100% take the Primaris. We are hemorrhaging. We are dying.
Let's wake up the dreadnought that's existed for like I don't know 8,000 years or
Yeah,
something.
roughly over 9,000 years.
It's like
Urine is literally the oldest space wolf left alive. He was with the Wolf King. He is in the Horus Heresy novels. It's
and
like
then
a whole
and
thing.
then it's like, oh well, you can't do that because I was there for the scouring and Ghoulman's just a jerk. It's like, should we be listening to do the dude that's 9,000 years old in a dreadnought? They go crazy anyways.
I think they hibernate them a little different in much the same that the Carcharodon Astra does as well. It's like
What, they stick them in the freezer?
they put them on ice, yeah. They deliberately hibernate their dreadnoughts. That's why they tend to be the oldest venerable dreadnoughts in all of the legions, and why they seem to have all of their shit together as opposed to any other chapter out there where they're all a little crazy for a good reason. But we digress. I think it's a good point to move on to the next one. Who's your favorite character and why? Follow up question: were there any characters you disliked?
Well, I mean, I liked Earl. I mean, Gaius is not. The issue is that Gaius starts out as a fanboy and then he realizes that his fanboyishness is not useful to him because they were all making fun. It is literally the story of like, oh, the football guys befriended the nerd, but like they won't ever accept him because he's not really on the football team. He's just the water boy.
He's just a water boy.
It's like, and then the water boy's like, I'm gonna get a touchdown, and then he does, and they're like, they won the game for us. We can appreciate him
Hey, there's
now.
another movie we can add. Rudy.
I'm like, so like I don't really care about Gaius because also like at the end he's like, I'm a space wolf now. Now that they gave me a name and they've accepted me, it's like, no,
A
you
real.
were better than them because you didn't care. And that's why it's more important, frankly. It would have been cooler if you were just like, I'm gonna wander Fenris now and be a protector of the world. I don't need your space marineness or something.
Mhm.
Like he could have just been like, I don't know, I swear to protect this planet, not the Marines, and like you need to take the other Marines because I have guilt to this planet or something.
Mm.
That could have been cool, but like we didn't do that.
I see the angle. It's not a bad angle. I still wouldn't have written that ending though. But like I can
I don't
appreciate.
care about this ending.
I know, but like it's an issue of like becoming full circle, closure, and being able to show the obstinate space wolves of Fenris that they're wrong and they admit they're wrong.
Yeah, but like you could have shown that and been like, and in fact, you're so wrong. You don't get Gaius. Gaius is better than you.
Yeah, yeah.
Gaius is now a child of Fenris. He is not a child of the Eight.
You know,
That
yeah, that's good. I that would have been preferable to him.
and then there would have been
before.
like, we this entire chapter owes Urgelt to the Primaris Marines, so we must take them on or
It's like,
something.
guy, no, real, that would have been amazing because, like you said, have Gaius return and then be like, "Yeah, I'm heading back into the wilds because the spirit of Fenris is calling me."
Yeah.
And then all the Fenrisians would be like, "Well, damn, we owe guilt to this man.
It's like, man,
Uh,
we were all
we
real wrong.
we must accept the Primaris now because our honor and oaths demand it."
Something like that.
Something that pulls them.
So for an actual answer, because like I said, Gaius is not. I
Yeah.
like Earl because he was the only space wolf that seemed to have a head on his shoulder. The Psyker was too busy with psychic stuff. Gita was a character. I mean, her fate is sad, but like her journey is kind of boring to me, honestly.
Represented a different side of Fenrisian culture. And
I mean, and yeah,
I
that's
do
important.
appreciate that Gita was, given some attention. And unfortunately, she has a pretty bad ending. But like,
Yeah,
yeah,
like, certainly, like, it's a very sad ending, honestly. It
even when like the wolves are like, yeah, you don't have to oblige this
like,
duel.
we'll pull rank and you'll be fine. It's like, "No, I gave my word," and they're like, "Well, we
To,
get it."
to the credit of the wolves, they didn't ask any more follow up after that. They're like, no,
Alright,
honor, got it. You swore an oath, respect, and then just
uh,
let fate be what fate's gonna be.
let fate kill her.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
Not any other culture would be like, nah, fam, we protect our own. We'll double tap them, no hesitation.
I
We
mean,
were this close to doing it already. And that one's already looks like he's a bitch. So let's take care of him.
but so I didn't really care about her. I mean, like, I'm sure somebody would like that journey, but
Yeah.
I didn't care. Earl was a cool space wolf. He's like the only good space wolf in this entire book. Null is close to being good, but he's just like, I must go to my weird and blah blah blah. He's like, I'm at least going to humor you, but eh.
Yeah.
It's like, okay,
I'm gonna pet my cyber rig and contemplate the warp.
I guess he's still he's like, oh, but I was too distracted. I needed this one human psycho woman to help me figure out the rest of the
He's
vision.
like, "Hey, how you come, come help your fellow wolves. We're about ready to take on an entire Wa." He's like, "No, I must go on a spirit quest for some reason."
Well, I mean, that's fine. But, like, Logan was also like, "But if we do this and then we all die, then Russ will come back." And it's like, okay, for one, let's take this concept here. Let's assume it is actually the end times, the longer the
The
chapter.
wolf times Aru.
But, like, if that were the case, do you think that Lehman Russ is gonna show back up for a space run?
No.
Do you really think he'd be like, "Oh,
No,
my chapter died to a bunch of orcs?"
even if he knew that it was his weird to do so, Lehman Russ would have been like, "Well, fell that. I'm going to just, go back into the spirit tree or the world tree or whatever he's calling it, and trying to find this weird pointy-eared blonde chick for some reason. What's her name? Gesundheit? Aisha? I don't know."
Like, it's just like, why would he come back for that?
Yeah.
Like, because it just sounds lame. And not only that, at the ending of the book, it is presented as a very lame situation. It's like, oh yeah, we just take trainees now to the giant rock in the sky and wait for them to become wolves.
Yeah.
So it doesn't like it was presented under like this massive threat of like, oh well, it could disappear into the warp at any time, or they could launch an entire invasion of Fenris.
Yeah, so like as far as I was able to piece together, stating the obvious for the viewer, they attack this rock at the end. They clear out the orcs, presumably, and
No, because
then
there's
they
still stuff.
repurpose it for training facility.
They take bits of it, but they
Yeah,
haven't finished it
yeah,
because it's so huge.
yeah. I'm not entirely sure if like because like they don't confirm whether or not it goes back into the
They
warp
just
or
break the orc shaman, so now they're just normal orcs. They're not
yeah.
as much of a threat, but like they don't clear it.
See, that's just how very space
They
wolf.
should have just blown it up. It's
Yeah.
not like the
Well, it's
planet
just a
doesn't get.
space Hulk. You know how hard it is to kill those things.
It's not like they don't have the planet get hit by meteors literally every year.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Okay, so disliked.
Oh, characters?
Yeah,
Logan.
yeah.
Logan is the worst character in this entire book. Like, don't get me wrong, there's some jerk space wolves, but Logan is worse than Culkin.
Oh my
Because,
goodness.
like,
Yeah.
Culkin has, like, some points of, like, I don't trust the Primarch because we literally got through an entire heresy of Primarch being like, "I'm actually evil."
Hurry,
It's
hurry.
like, "Great, cool."
Come
That's
on.
why I don't like Culkin. That's why I don't like Ghoulman. But, Logan, at every single opportunity, is like, "Wolf time! It's the wolf time, guys! It's the wolf time! I know it's the wolf time! It's so the wolf time that we have to literally kill ourselves
Yeah, no, it's
against
almost like
this
he
thing."
was a dog on a chain barking at something that didn't need to be barked at.
He so desperately wanted to see his Primarch again that he was willing to destroy his entire chapter just for the sake of prophecy. I'm like, I feel like at some point Russ was pretty clear of like, if it's your weird, fine, but you can't make it happen. It's either you're weird or it's not.
Yeah, like
Because that from what I understand, that's basically Russ's entire journey in the heresy to be like, there are things that I can't fight, and they're going to happen no matter what. So I just need to accept them and do what I can with what I have.
More or less, yeah.
But
I
like
mean,
Logan is trying to so hard to force the apocalypse that he sees as the apocalypse because it's his only chance to see Russ again because he wants to see his Primarch, he's willing to like throw it all away on this off chance because he's like, no, this is it. I know it is because my psyker said something that kind of sounded loosely sort of like a wolf time thing, and therefore it is the wolf time.
yeah, to the credit of Stormcaller, is it's like, yo, man, I'm not saying it's the wolf time, and I don't think it is. Could we like a couple pegs down?
It's like, let me talk to some other psychics. Like, no, it's the wolf time. I don't want Primaris. That means that we'll have more people that we got to kill.
Aru, yes.
It's like, Logan, this is the stupidest thing I've ever had the displeasure of hearing. It's like, okay,
Oh,
but if it is the wolf time and you do all die and Ghoulman just replaces you with a bunch of Primaris Marines, then like, what does that mean for you? You don't want that.
yeah.
So like,
Yeah, something to that theory of the demon whispering in his ear, I think.
it just that's what I was like, the only reason this character could possibly be this obstinately stupid is that this axe is, like, evil and whispering in his ear or something. But,
Yeah.
like, it never gets it's not it's never even hinted at.
Well, okay, so before we go any further, for those that are listening and that know how that weapon works, don't at us because I can tell you right now, I am aware that it has wards on it, but all we're kind of saying is that,
Hey,
when has that ever stopped a demon weapon from seeping
you know
through?
who else resisted a greater demon for, like, a long time?
Yeah,
Fraka
yeah,
from Ravenor. And
yeah,
he's like this in this current lore, probably like a nigh Calexis level psyker on his own because he's way more powerful than what most people see.
yeah,
And he resists a greater demon for quite a long time, but it's a matter of it wears off. It
yeah,
doesn't matter how strong the wards are, they will wear down eventually.
yeah. That's all we're saying. We know. We just want you to know that we know. We still think that it might be the axe. Regardless, Dice.
I wish it was even like loosely hinted at. That way you could be like, oh, that's why Logan was so weird this entire book. Because like the axe has gotten a lot more power because of the Cicatrix opening.
Yeah.
And it's like pushing against the wards. And like Stormcaller could have been like, yeah, I mean, I get it, Logan, but also you're the one that's wielding the axe. And I know how much hungrier it is right now because of the dark
I
time.
mean, there's even a scene where he's yelling at someone. I forget who it is, and he's wielding the axe when he's doing it.
It's like
What other thing do we need to like have proof on? You know?
I mean, if somebody had directly called out, if Stormcaller had been like, I know that axe is hungrier, Logan, but you need to be stronger than it,
Yeah,
or
that'd have
something.
been enough. That would have been enough.
We're like, okay, we can at least explain this away. But no, Logan is just like the stupidest person in this entire book all the time.
Yeah. So my favorite character was Gaius. The struggle for belonging and his drive to prove himself worthy. That's pretty much the takeaway I got from the entirety of this novel in terms of like why I liked him. Obviously, my dislike was Logan Grimnar. Too much obstinate behavior out of someone who should know better. And we've already beat that dead horse. So we can move on from this, I think. Hey, did any part of this book evoke a strong emotion in you?
I mean, like, let's see here. It did have something. Other than like me thinking that this is stupid. They had Moodire go through like his emotional breakdown of like, all we did was waste lives and time, and it was worthless, and I hate this, I don't wanna be here, and this chick that I was kinda hoping to bang is now really upset with me, even though I said I didn't wanna bang her, but, like, come on, Mudaya, we all
Yeah,
know what's up. We all know what's up.
yeah.
You were very loosely trying.
We'll get there.
You were being weird, but, like, there was obviously there. Even the custodians called you out, man.
It's
Um
like I could smell your pheromones. You
and
both
then
want it.
it goes to, like, Gaius, awakening, essentially, if I
Yeah.
like, that was good, like, the breakdown, and then, like, Gaius comes back. I thought that was well paced. Githa's whole fate is terribly sad because she's, like, guaranteed dead. Unless she magically pops up later.
She does not disappears from all
So, yeah,
plots.
she's dead. She's just dead. There's no way a woman that old could survive. sanctioning, frankly.
Yeah.
She probably doesn't even survive the black ships. She probably dies on her way to Terra. Sorry to break that to you, but Nada has a better chance of survival than Gita.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
she does. This book certainly made me want to read more Night Lords.
Well, do I have some books to recommend to you?
Do they involve slightly BDSM coded scenes of Night Lords?
I can't promise that, but
Okay,
I
I'm not
can.
interested.
Um, I'll be honest with you. I read the first of the Night Lord trilogy, made it halfway through the book, and then immediately just couldn't read any more of it because even I have standards, and that's saying something coming from me if you know me. But nah, man, like everybody that I've ever seen online, anybody I've ever met out in public, they're like, "Oh, you got to read the Night Lord trilogy. It's so good. It's so compelling. The characters are well written. The
Isn't that where
progress."
like Savitar comes from?
No, it's not Savitar. What was that guy's name? Talos.
Oh,
That's Talos's and his band story. And finishing my thought, I was completely unengaged and uninterested. I hate to break it to you, internet. I do not like the Night Lords, and I therefore do not like that trilogy. At me on this one. I genuinely do not give a shit. I'm sorry.
no, no,
It's
no. You don't need to apologize for now. Like I said, the introduction made me want to read more Night Lords just because that was a much more interesting part of this entire book. It was, in fact, the most interesting part of this entire book.
nice. Yeah, it really got you there, huh?
Well, it's just nothing else happened.
Yeah, that's for sure. So I do try to find a spark of emotion in every book that I read, just because for me, literature is one of the
Other than,
purest forms of expressive art.
other than obstinate irritation at this entire book.
But if I'm honest with myself, this book didn't bring out anything for me.
It's like the meme.
Um,
This brings joy. This does
does
not
not
bring
bring
joy.
joy. Uh, if I didn't know when this book came out and know when the new refresh for the product line of the Space Wolves came out, were very far apart, and therefore there's no conceivable way that Gav Thorpe was told to write a Space Wolves book in order to, up product line.
Well, there was during Gathering Storm there was a Space Wolves update.
Yeah, right, but they introduced those helmets that everybody had strong cringe opinions about.
Oh, it's one is when this came out.
Yeah, okay, so the refresh came out last year.
Yeah.
So there's no conceivable way, but my point is if I didn't already know that they had nothing to do with product placement, I would almost say that Gav Thorpe was phoning it in for marketing. But we both know that's not true. Therefore, I am at a loss as to, apart from the obvious answer you gave me the other day, is like, well, they can pick these books, or sometimes Black Library is like, you make this book.
Well, they say like either they approach Black Library
Yeah.
with like, "Hey, I have this idea, can I write it?" Or they say, "We need somebody to write this," and it's like
Mhm.
we've got a pool of people. I'll tell you what is product placement: the upcoming Drop Site Massacre Horus Heresy book. Because I thought we were done. I thought we were out. I thought it's been $60. Why are we going back?
Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching.
It doesn't mean anything. Hey, guess what? Guess what? Everybody dies.
Not everybody dies in the drop site massacre.
Okay, the majority of people die, but we know what happens.
Like the Shattered Legion's a thing.
There's nothing new to learn other than like I know what they say on the back. It's like, oh, you'll learn a new perspective and shattering truth. Hey, guess what? The Dropsite Massacre happens, Shatter Allegiance comes from it, and then the rest of the heresy kicks off.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to spoil it, but we've known this forever.
We've known for a long time.
Decades.
Decades.
Literally decades.
Finishing my thought. So obviously, Gav Thorpe, he probably was given this book and said he needed to write it. I do think like Space Wolves isn't his cup of tea. I don't think he enjoys them, and you can tell in the writing.
What does Gav Thorpe enjoy? Because I've
Dark Angels, he's written Blood Angels, but I can only think of one novel that Blood Angels he's written.
because like he also wrote
He d-
Path of the Eldar, and everybody hates that.
Yeah, no, there's only two things he's really known for in 40K. It's Dark Angels and Eldar, of any variety, really, but mostly Craft World Eldar. And yeah, they didn't like those Eldar books that came out.
What
That's why none of them got finished up. or rather, I think that's
That was an omnibus. Path of the Elder is an omnibus.
right. But I'm saying is like there's a reason why the last Crone Blade is stuck in,
I mean,
Slanesh's.
Path of the Elder is
Yeah.
ancient.
Yeah, but like I get it. I get
Here's the thing, Yanari wasn't inherently popular, which
yeah.
is fine. That's why the last Chrome Blade isn't going anywhere anytime soon. That's one of those that's much like Gulman returning. That is one of those breaking case of money situations, but they're fine right now, so they can do whatever they want.
Yeah. So in short, not particularly enjoyed.
I don't think Thorpe bummed it in by any means.
Nor do I.
I think I can understand where he was coming from on the book, but like I think his approach to it was not as a fan of Space Wolves. I think he was just writing a Space Wolf book, which is okay.
Yeah, no,
Like,
so this we're talking about an author who has his own series outside of the Black Library. So he's capable. It is a good writer.
here's the thing. This is not it would be incorrect to say that this is like a bad book. It's not my favorite book. I
Mhm.
don't like the prose, but like technically speaking, this is a perfectly average book. It's for everybody,
Yeah,
but
clearly.
there's nothing wrong with the technical aspect of the writing of this book. I don't inherently like the prose,
Yeah. Yeah.
but that doesn't mean that there's something wrong. He's not a bad author. It's plain. People don't have to like what he writes, but he writes perfectly fine.
Yeah, perfectly fine. Um, let's talk about themes. What themes stood out to you in this book, if any?
I mean, I mentioned the whole Romans coming to save the Saxons from
Mhm.
themselves. But, like, I don't the concepts of, like, the galaxy has to change, which, like, people resist change, and that's what the wolves were doing. They are our first founding chapter. They have these things that are about them that are like, we have no desire to see our traditions change. The issue is that, like I said before, this is very much the outsider coming to a culture that they don't understand. I mean, Guys has a little traveler's book that was written in, like, it's M36.
Yeah, it was a while.
And, like, he's this nerdlinger who walks in and is like, "I'm a space wolf." It's like, everybody looks at him is like, "You're not."
Yeah.
And they explain to him why he's not. They do it in an obstinately jerk
Yeah,
jerk off
they
way.
are unkind.
But, like, even Earl at his kindness is like, "You are not born of this world nor raised in this culture, and that is how space wolves work. So you cannot be a true space wolf. You can wear the wolf, and I think you're a good Marine, but you'll never be one of us." And then they get proven wrong. So it's like the issue is that the theme is one of this juxtaposition of like, you've seen Last Samurai.
Yeah.
You've seen Dances with Wolves. It's outsider coming into a culture that they don't understand, and then they become part of the culture. And it's like, is that right? Is this an extension of like colonialism and imperialism?
No, 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 that's taking it way too literally. I mean, it
I
is
mean,
it,
they literally bring up the point. They bring up the point of like Gulman is trying to dilute us with these things.
in that regard, yeah, no, they're concerned about their culture getting erased, and that's all well and good, but like if you know Gilliman, you know that that's not going to be a thing he's going to want to do willingly because he actually liked Lehman Russ and he wants his brother's legacy to endure. And I mean, like he says as much
I mean,
basically.
I know. I just mean from, like, the overall point. The point that Thorpe is making is, like, yeah, they view this as colonialism, essentially. They view this as an erasure of their culture,
Yeah,
which is fair
yeah, no, no, it's completely valid and fair that they would, because of the knowledge base that they have at the moment, that they'd be afraid that they're being usurped.
because Bjorn is like, "Yo, Coleman's coming to break you again."
He wanted to do it. He got it. He's gonna get what he wants this time. He's gonna destroy the wolves. Aru.
It's like,
Yeah,
"Okay, Bjorn, thanks. Thanks for making this worse. Thanks
yeah.
for making the
He
situation
did not
worse."
make it better. Like, but to be
I
fair,
thought you were a venerable dreadnought who knew stuff. Like, no,
to be
you're
fair,
just a cranky nuthead.
before all the wolf lords came together and had that massive conclave, three-fourths of them were not down with the Primaris anyway. You only have like outliers like Helldrake and Blackmane that were and Stormcaller where it's like we desperately need these reinforcements.
Well, they weren't even like It's like, we don't even care that they're wolves or not. We need the Marine.
We need them. Yes. We can use the even Blackman is like, what? Why are we having this discussion? We can just take their technology, use these guys as auxiliary forces, and then build up our chapter
Not
with
only that,
Frisian.
we can just throw them at the problem, have them wean themselves out, and then we can
Exactly.
still have True, Fenrisian, and Primaris.
Once again,
And
Blackman being the most sensible, but Logan's like, no, I'm going to be obstinate for no reason. Ugh.
I mean, I get in the sense of like he wants to see Russ again, and he's upset that Logan's over there.
Oh,
Here, there's like this core of like Logan is mad that Gulman's the one who came back,
yeah.
and not Russ.
He wanted
He wanted Lehman back. Like I'm sure every other first founding chapter wanted,
except those of the Sons of Dorne. They
I
don't
mean,
want him back.
well, they respect this.
Yay, yay, our Primarch is back. Yay, Primarch is back.
I mean, I don't think I think that the Imperial Fists are just like, well, we respect what happened. So
Well, okay, no,
whether he returns or not.
there's a newer meme out there. It checks out, but the meme is like, has all the different Sons of Dorne like, yay, our Primarch is back. And he's like, I'm back. And we're going to finish what we started with the Iron Warriors. And they're like, yay, our Primarch is back.
That's fine. I mean, like, I could almost guarantee that it should Dorn return, he'd just be like, okay, I'm gonna go to Terra and I'm gonna reinforce the palace again because I heard
Yeah.
that it got attacked,
Yeah.
and then I'm gonna figure out what to do.
Yeah. See, I'm just going to go into a little bit of theory territory before we go into a complete derail on who the next Primarch is going to get brought back. So we've heard
It'll be Russ because
it will be Russ, yes,
he's the next one that sells best.
yes. And then for some reason they're going to bypass Rogel Dorn, and the next will be Jagged Khan.
Well, Khan's been mentioned for years and years. And
Yeah,
years.
but just because for some reason Games Workshop hates Imperial and Fist and Crimson Fist and every Son of Dorn chapter for some reason.
I don't think I would say that. Actually, you know what? That's a good point. The Crimson Fists. You know who the Crimson Fists hate?
Orcs.
Orcs.
Yeah.
You know who would have been better for an orc book?
Oh, them for sure.
Yeah.
Problem is they at this particular time are still rebuilding their chapter and need Primaris reinforcement.
Well, I wonder what this book is about besides providing a destroyed
Oh yeah,
chapter.
no, I know for sure it would have been like they did it because Space Wolves sell. That's why they chose the.
No,
Space
they did it
Wolves.
because Gathering Storm. Like,
Yeah, that too. But like digression aside, I'll put my 2 cents in for theme, and then we can just tread on. I noticed a common theme of self-worth and belonging coming up a lot in this book. We see it the most with Gaius, but Mudire and Gita both have those themes as well. All these characters had a journey of discovery of their purpose in life, and that at least came through loud and clear for me. Which is, I usually find a theme for every single book I read because that's just writing 101. Some will disagree. That's just not how books are made, though. There's always themes. This one definitely was self-worth and belonging, kind of hit that one home to the point of just deadpan. But it went through. Gita had her unfortunate ending. Mudire grew as a person, which is awesome because Mudire is an unsung hero throughout the books.
nah.
And
Mudire is not fat.
we'll never see Gaius again.
The problem is that Mudire is not fat, man. Oh, of course we don't see Gaius.
We
He
don't
got
see-
a new name.
We don't even see the new name Gaius. We don't see Gita ever again. We do see Mudire.
I mean, obviously, Mudire, like, until the dude's dead, he's one of the founding historians, which I think are supposed to all be dead by the time Plague War starts.
No, actually, Fabian's still alive, and I think Mudire.
Well, I meant, I knew Fabian was alive.
Yeah.
Just because he's in Plague.
Yeah, stuff goes down with Fabian.
I know.
But we'll get
that's
into
why
that.
that's why he's important
Yeah.
in the series. It sets him up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
Okay. So I think it's a good point to move on. My favorite question of tonight. If you could give this book a different title, what would it be?
Oh, jeez. I didn't even think about this time. Let's see here.
I thought about it long and hard.
Let's see. Okay. So like as usual, a Dawn of Fire novel is not good as a subtitle.
Yeah.
It is an Indomitable. It's not. Here's the thing.
Dawn of Fire's in this book.
I know it is. I forgot that it was. But a bigger problem is that like this isn't even really like an Indomitus Crusade book.
Yeah,
It's a Space Wolves novel.
it can stay. It's a standalone for sure.
It doesn't feel connected to the overall point of the Dawn of Fire series, other than the fact that Primaris Marines show up. But like there are Primaris Marines in a lot of books now, so like
Yeah,
whatever.
I can
Um,
only concede that this book only exists so that the Space Wolves got reinforced, and they explain how it happened
um,
because they were dying off.
yeah, and then like I don't know, the fact that they titled this thing the Wolf Time, and it is expressly not as an insult, just it is false advertising, and it's disappointing, and, nobody should have okayed this title
Mhm.
because it's stupid. Because here's the thing, if they ever do a, like, a 40K end times, they can't use this title.
Not anymore. No, it's done. The Wolf Times Part Two, Electric Boogaloo.
Like, as for an actual title,
Yeah, let's go.
um, oh, what's Gaius' last name?
I I don't remember.
The new last name? Let me see
I
here.
genuinely
Can't it's
recall.
on, like, the last page. No, it's not on the last page. Blah, 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 blah. No, 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 no.
I mean, it is around the last pages of the epilogue.
I know, I'm getting there. I'm literally flipping through the book right now.
Cool.
Uh, because I'm talking, and then they're like, "Oh, yeah, what's your name? Blah, blah, blah." Iron Oath?
Iron.
That might be okay.
Um, yeah, it would have been too much on the nose though because Iron Kingdom comes out a couple books later.
I mean, yeah, I guess. It should have been something like, let's look at the lexicon of Fenrisian terms.
Here we
Oh,
go.
jeez.
Yeah, try saying those words 6 times fast.
No, because I don't care that much. Blah, 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 blah. They could have even done something lame like, Oath Sworn. Uh, Utgelt probably wouldn't have been the worst title, although it
Hmm.
would have been weird.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I mean, maybe, Utgelt, whatever the title of their pack is.
Hmm.
It's like First Wolves. That would
Yeah,
have been better.
the first wolves. There we go. That's his answer. All right. Are you ready for this?
Is it gonna be a joke where you're like Grimnar's Wine Time?
I will now ramble off all the titles I thought up for this book.
Okay.
First one, The Furpocalypse,
Okay, lame.
The Time of No Belly Rubs,
Lame.
The Coming of the Dark and Scary Cloud Sounds,
Phrasing.
The Wolf, 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 Wolf Times,
Lame.
The Times of the Good Boys
Give
Gone
an
Bad.
actual answer.
I'll say it again, you interrupted. The Times of the Good Boys Gone Bad,
Lame.
and of course, The Dreaded Vacuum Wars.
Still lame.
I'm not sorry, this book was bad.
You have an actual answer?
No, I do not.
Okay. I think the first wolves have legitimately been a better answer because one, the
If
first
we
wolves,
want to be serious and not poke fun at the terrible, terrible atrociousness of this book, sure. The first wolves.
because like they do say wolf time, I think at least 4 dozen times in this
Yeah.
book. But the thing that's actually important is the first wolves.
Mm. I still think the Apocalypse is a better one.
It's
But
not though. It's not even an apocalypse situation.
it's,
Problem.
you
It's
know,
still
problems be damned. It was funny.
it's
It
still
still makes me smile.
it's still false advertising.
Yeah. So you didn't like the time of the no belly rubs? I didn't do it for you. Not even the coming of the dark and
You
scary
just want to
cloud
run through the
sounds.
list again?
I'm gonna do it again. The wolf, 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 wolf times didn't do it for you. Well, there's no pleasing you. Let's see.
No.
How did the book compare to others you've read by the same author
Gav
or in the
Thorpe.
same genre?
I mean, I don't think I've actually read other Gav Thorpe unless I've read it in Inferno. Again,
You probably
apparently.
have.
I think I may have read one, but I looked at his list and I didn't recognize anything.
I
But
think he has a myriad of
yeah,
lists.
I
It's
looked.
long.
But I mean, like out of the first 3 Dawn of War novels, this is certainly the
Mm,
least
mm.
good one. I mean, if we I may have my issues with the first one, but, like, it's better than this. It's not the same thing as, like, well, you like the second one because it was on a single planet, and she's like, "Yeah, but stuff happened on that planet. Nothing happens on Fenris."
Yeah, it's pretty boring. Um, I've read quite a few books written by Gav Thorpe. My favorites would be the Time of Legend books, centered around the elves of fantasy and the events leading to the Sundering. It's good stuff. Comparing those books to whatever the hell the Wolf Times was meant to be as a far cry from quality, as far as I'm concerned. The thing with Gav Thorpe is he can really shell out books for this setting. It's just the thing he's known for doing. Hell, the guy has been in the game for about as long as the property has been.
Pretty sure you got to start it in the front on.
So he knows his stuff and usually brings insight into anything he touches with Warhammer IP. He definitely did that with this book, and my takeaway is a harsh criticism. Hot take, not everyone will agree with it, and this is what Space Wolves should have been annihilated in this book. I really think that they should have just killed the chapter. I know they weren't going to do that because models sell, and to each their own, but it would have been more impactful to me if there was some sort of consequence for Logan's obstinate behavior. Instead, nothing happened.
They could have just killed Logan, bud.
It wouldn't have been killing Santa Claus is not enough. It wouldn't have been enough. There has to be consequences for doing stupid shit.
Yeah,
And, like,
he could have died. They could have just killed him and been
"Oh,
like,
no, Black Mane, takes the Wolf King."
that probably would have actually turned into a fight.
That would
But,
yeah, people would have fought Black Mane and they would have lost, and he still would have ended up the Wolf King.
I mean, but yeah, they could have killed somebody actually important. Nobody died that I
Yeah.
recall.
But once again, they played it close to their chest and safe, and they suffered for it. Now, I realize that was a very harsh hot take, but sometimes things need to be destroyed in order for them to grow bigger and stronger. And that would have been like a good opportunity for the Space
I see
Wolves.
that you follow the Harusian philosophy of the Inquisition.
Aru. Sometimes it's okay to burn some trees down, man, so that, more trees can grow. That is the thing.
I recognize that, but they were never gonna destroy a
I
whole.
know the cowards.
The issue is that, like, well, one, we know that like, by the time these books were written, we knew how stuff went,
Yeah.
so, like, they can't change the past.
Again, wishful hopes and dreams. I understand it's never going to happen because those models are the third best models that sell in the Space Marine line. So, like, that is what it is. Doesn't make me happy about it, but boo. That's what it is.
What I kinda wanna hope is that Logan doesn't take the Rubicon.
I think he already did.
Yeah, well, I would hope that he didn't, but, that
Yeah, no,
model
that's what the
sucks.
whole model refresh for. I
Yeah,
think he got like severely injured, like they all do for some stupid reason. Took the Rubicon, and now he doesn't have his Santa Claus sled anymore, and it upsets nobody because that model was dog doo doo. Were there any quotes or passages that particularly resonated with you, and why?
I mean, the teardown,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
if for some reason you buy books for, like, 2 pages, that teardown is good, although it's been quoted
yeah.
online by this point.
Gaius tearing down Ulrich was some good stuff. It was very good. If I had to put it into succinct words, I'm just gonna read what I put down because I think it pretty much covers it to an entirety. We kind of already beat that dead horse, so we can move on unless you have another line. But Gaius has a line halfway through the book towards Ulrich that basically calls out the Space Wolves and a bunch of two-faced jackals, and I loved him for it. That whole exclusive club BS the Space Wolves were pulling was such drivel. And again, the point is driven home when Gita basically accepts Gaius as he is and encourages him not only to be himself, but ask for help when he needs it, should have been the spirit of the entire time. But it wasn't. Go figure the Primaris Marine had to be amongst humans to truly feel like he belonged. Such drivel. I mean, it's good that they, once again drive home some of the virtues of humanity in this novel, but it's unfortunate that the ones that are supposed to be the most protective of humanity next to the salamanders, the space wolves, were anything but.
Even sea salamanders in the Dawnfire series.
I don't believe so. I can be mistaken. It's been a minute.
Which is weird. Um,
Yeah, you'd think that the salamanders would have had a bigger role. Oh, wait, they're not popular. That's why.
I mean, like, well, they're also on the other side of the rift,
Yeah,
but,
then they are
um,
they are in the Dark Imperium.
yeah.
That's correct.
So, like, I don't know, this coulda the a lot of this could have been lessened if they just brought it down to, like, instead of, "We will literally never accept you, you're an abomination," to, like, "We don't trust you, therefore you have to prove yourself,"
They didn't
and do
yeah.
some stupid, like, "It's okay, they're not gonna come back, guys, there's no way they can do this," and then they do the thing.
Yeah,
It's like they could here's what they could have done. They could have said, "Okay, we don't trust you, because we're Space Wolves and we just don't." It's like,
yeah,
that's reasonable for Space Wolves to do because 'cause they're untrustworthy.
yeah.
They just don't trust anybody because they only come from one world, and I wonder why they don't trust anybody if they only recruit from an individual world that they all happen to live on.
Also,
Weird.
remember, there are no wolves on Fenris.
I mean, there were, like, 15 wolves in the book.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
What they could have done was been like, "Okay, fine. We're gonna send you to the Space Hulk."
Yeah,
And then we get to see the Primaris Space Wolves fight orcs on the Space Hulk, and then be like, it'd be like, okay, well, we need some volunteer actual wolves. That way we can make sure they're not like faking. Then we could have had a couple of Space Wolves who both support and or detract, because there would have been a council over it.
yeah.
It would have just been like fun. It would have had more orcs in this book, and it's like there's out of the 520 pages of this book, there's like maybe 40 to 50 pages of orcs. It's like, what is like you can't tell me this book is about orcs and not have orcs.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, Commissar Gascoigne, that whole bit with that one lady.
That one human
Yeah,
commissar? Yeah, that was cool. Why didn't we explore that? Why didn't we explore the orc world?
yeah.
Why didn't we have the space wolves go to the orc world? Why didn't we do anything? We just stayed on one world for like a week
Safe and close to the chest.
of just not doing anything. It's like, okay, so this is what they do? They just hang out it's like, well, they say that they're not here that often all the time, so make sure to do what you can. It's like, well, they're here for a long time because they don't go to the Space Hulk to go do anything.
Yeah.
Because really, if they were like, well, we're gonna send the Primaris Marines to the Space Hulk, and hopefully it gets lost in the war, but we don't have to deal with the situation. Like that could have legitimately been the underlying. Be like, why did you send them to the Hulk? Logan's like, well, frankly, I kind of hope that it just disappears into the warp, like you said it would.
No, too simple. You know, leave it to space wolves in general to be braggarts and to be obstinate. And in that regard, Gav Thorpe delivered. Because my God. Would you recommend this book to others?
God, man.
Yeah, my exact words too.
So like, here's the thing: if you're like a hyper Space Wolves fan, you could read this and understand why people don't like Space Wolves.
Exactly.
If you're not a Space Wolves fan, this doesn't like fawn over Space Wolves. So like it presents a really interesting facet of Fenrisian culture, which you're probably not going to get a lot of ever,
Mm,
because they're so private. So like that's fine. It doesn't pump up the Space Wolves in any particular way. It just presents them as like this chapter of up their own head,
yeah.
and they are.
Oh, yeah.
Even when you like Space Wolves,
You've
they're
got to admit that they are braggarts and are
they
willfully obstinate.
literally went to war with the Inquisition over something that wasn't their business.
Yeah, well, Logan had every reason. I agree with his actions. I do. Like that'd be the only time I think you're going to hear me say that out loud during that entire conflict because that Inquisition was doing those people dirty.
Like,
I
this
get
is what
why
needs to
they. I
happen.
get why they were doing it.
Even in Plague War, when Goldman's like, "Don't kill these soldiers," those what happens?
Yeah.
They pop, and it's like, "Oh, well, I guess we should have killed them
Well,
because they killed like 15 more people on their way out."
Yeah, yeah. I mean, love him or hate him, at least he's sensible. Um, as for me, God no, I would not recommend this book.
This certainly shouldn't be your first Dawn of Fire novel.
No.
This shouldn't be your first 40K novel.
This book only tackles filler and is only it is complete filler and only useful takeaway as far as I'm concerned is the B plot for Bucarest's gift and a lore update on what Gaskell is up to.
Yeah,
That's literally it. That's
there's
all it
about
does
out of 27 chapters, there's about maybe a chapter and a half
of
that's
content
important
that is like relevant. Yeah.
because
I
even you said the orcs don't come up again.
No, they don't, but I assume that's because the Space Wolves were taking care of them and like holding them off. That is the presumption. Um, I fully recommend you read the summary online and move on to the next book in the series. Pass. Solid pass.
I mean, if you're gonna, you can't skip the tear. Feel like that's
Well, that's why you read the summary. You don't need anything else. Like, cause like the only thing that this book provides is a chapter and a half of filler. That is it.
a chapter and a half of material.
You know what I mean? Like it's not worth wasting your time. That is my opinion. Grain of salt. How did the book make you feel overall? Did it change any perspective of any topic?
I mean, having never really done much with Space Wolves, it certainly didn't give me any affirmation of wanting to read more.
Yeah.
Only recently has it come to my attention that the next Wrath and Glory supplement is more Space Wolves. And it's like, well, we don't have an orc player guide, so I'm just gonna blame this on the Space Wolves because it sounds like their fault. Really, it's more Games Workshop probably inlining Space Wolf update models with a Space Wolf book for the tabletop role playing game because they do seem to be cross promoting these days. But overall, like I don't know, man. Nothing happened.
Yeah.
It's
It's
just
okay.
like it made me feel like, well, why can't we follow up on this? Why isn't there more of this? Like, I don't care. I don't care about this, and I don't care about that. And oh, look at that. Logan's being a hard-headed prick again. Nothing has changed. He doesn't change.
This book was a slog to get through.
It was pretty rough.
To put it into context, I got through the first two books of the series in about 2 weeks each, give or take. This book took me a whole month to read, and I only completed this questionnaire at the last minute because it was so tedious for me. This, up to this point, book club has not happened. Everything I've read up to this point, I've enjoyed and, had this stuff prepared like in advance.
Well, it's only been 3 books now.
I know. I knew there was gonna be a stinker, and we both talked about it. Like behind the scenes, we were both like dreading the Wolf Times because we knew it was a slog and we had no interest in reading it, but ultimately we had to read it so that you, the viewership, couldn't realize that it's a waste of your time. Please don't read it.
I'm not gonna go that far and say don't read it, but don't tell people to read it as their first 40K novel because it's
Yeah,
not.
it'll ruin 40K for you.
Well, it
Uh,
doesn't even show you much of 40K.
that
That's the
too.
problem.
It certainly made me have a new and pervasive hatred for the Space Wolves, which says something because my first chapter I enjoyed when I was very young was the Space Wolves, due in large part because of the Ragnar Blackname books I read when I was a child. But yeah, I hate the Wolves of Fenris now. Like they don't do it for me. Models still look sick. I'll give them that. Like especially the recent refresh. Those models are tight. Like that's all I gotta say about that. Were there any plot twists that surprised you? And did they affect your understanding of the story?
Yeah, the plot twist of not having anything to do with orcs, they changed my understanding of what this book was supposed to be about.
Sassy, I love it.
It's
Nothing
like
su Yeah, go ahead.
there's nothing in this book that isn't like, okay, yeah, cool. He goes on like the moment he jumps off the gun cutter or whatever it was.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, okay, so he's gonna go on a journey of self-discovery. He's gonna come back, and everybody's gonna be like, "Holy crap, he's alive! Oh, he's a wolf now."
Aru, yeah.
It's like, okay, cool. Like, you still like. I would have been more surprised if he's like, "No, no, 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 no. I'm a child of Fenris now. I'm not joining the wolves."
So it looks like that your expectations were not met.
Well, the expectations on the back of the book tell me that we're supposed to be fighting orcs, and we don't do that.
Yeah, not a whole lot of orc killing in this book, that's for sure. Nothing surprised me about this book, period. We're moving on.
Oh, well, that's not fair. The Night Lord Comsar scene was
Yeah,
delightfully surprising.
yeah.
And just like, what am I reading right
I
now?
don't it definitely begs the question internally, am I a freak for enjoying that?
No, I just if they ever do a Warhammer Romance book line, which I dearly hope that they do at some point,
Do it,
because
cowards.
yeah, really, you know, I mean,
Yeah,
if Thorpe doesn't write it, then like, what are you doing, Games Workshop? Because
yeah,
he wrote that like page. That was the
yeah.
best part of the book.
Yeah, that was some intense, there were some weird feelings coming up.
Save for the teardown. That is the second highest peak of the book, and
Leave
it's in the first 10.
leave it to Gav Thorpe to have the balls to treat a Slanesh worshiper the way that they used to be versus how they're portrayed
Well,
now.
not even in the sense of like this is very obviously sex phrase,
Yeah.
but, like, the nature of what he's seeking is a height, although I think a lot of people would imply that Night Lords are more unaligned than Symmetraland.
Yeah, them and the Iron Warriors take the cake there. They're
Well,
supposed to be the most unaligned. Though it seems these days they're pushing the Iron Warriors to be have more of like an infertile compact with Bashtor for one reason or another. I couldn't tell you
well,
why.
they don't really care about unaligned a lot.
Yeah. I mean, I think that for the Iron Warriors, that's a good direction. Start having them venerate Vashtor because that makes sense. They do demon, machines more than any of the other chapters. But we're digressing. Did you find the author's writing style engaging?
No.
No?
No, I don't like his prose.
Did not.
The fact that it keeps breaking apart in the middle of a chapter is jarring in comparison with the other books that we've read. He put out 27 chapters. You could have easily made that 40 chapters of different points of view. That's just not how he writes.
Yeah, no, like, he's not a bad writer. Just why it is so surprising the quality of this book is so
There's
garbage.
nothing technically wrong with this book. I just don't like his prose.
I'm not quite sure went wrong here. Because I've read plenty of his books and it was never been this
This is
bad.
one of those books that's on par with what I understand of Path of the Eldar, where like people generally dislike this book. Is it technically a bad book? No. I've read worse material. This is an averagely written. I wouldn't say averagely written, but like it's an average book. It's just got nothing going for it.
Yeah.
But there's nothing that's jarringly like, why did this get written?
I don't know, man. I think they're just filling space. And then that just, like, circles back around to the question we had
Well,
in
they aren't
episode
filling
1.
space because they expanded the series from 7 books to 9.
Well, that's what I was about to say. Circling back around to this conversation again, kinda begs the question, other than to have it out there that, the Space Wolves are being reinforced, here's a book that proves it, yada, yada, yada. Okay. Given it has an extensive RPG collection, what would you pull from this novel for a game?
I mean, so if you like Space Wolves or you want to have a Space Wolf in there, I guess this would be fine for it.
Mhm,
You could present a very different Space Wolf than people are expecting by being like, no, 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 no. This is how this Space Wolf is. He's an obstinate prick
mhm,
who doesn't care about anything that isn't about his own chapter or his own home planet. Because why would he care? Um, the orc using Blackstone was interesting.
mhm.
The astropath getting affected by the wall, I used that in Arc 5. The idea that humans can be affected by a wog field. I mean, there's just not a lot else.
Yeah, I wouldn't personally.
Unless you were doing something like Death Watch, but you start from, like, founding or not founding, but you start from, what's the term for when they get, aspirants? It's like a phrase.
The Trials of Mordecai?
Well, I do like you start with your trials, and, like, this can give you a good idea of, like, what should aspirants be going
Well,
through.
yeah, like, it's all to build up for the Trial of the Wolfen, like, so
Well, yeah, but I don't even just mean directly about Fenrisians. I just mean, like, in general. It's like, okay, well, this can teach you about, like, here's what aspirants theoretically go through.
yeah.
Um,
I don't know, man. Personally, I wouldn't even attempt to adapt this to a game. It is something I could not make my friends enjoy even if they were drunk. Like, I get you all shit-faced, and I don't think I get you to enjoy anything. RPG, whatever, not this
well,
book.
you don't need to make an entire book in the game. You just take bits and pieces.
Even then, there really wasn't anything to take away from here that, like, would have been engaging for the group.
I think the bigger issue is that, like, this would fit into, like, more of, like, a two-pronged Dungeons& and Dragons game
Mhm.
because they're so fantasy focused and what they talk about that it doesn't key itself to 40K in any particularly good way. Because you don't focus an entire campaign on a feral world.
Yeah.
You have to go from place to place.
No, if you use a feral world at all, it's either for a mission along the entirety of like a multiple planet hopping campaign,
Or it's
or as an origin place for
yeah,
the
or it's your
players.
origin place and you, like, never go back there.
Yeah.
Um, you could probably do something like this psyker needs to be retrieved because they have an important message that you need to get.
Oh, yeah, you're doing okay, so, like, oh, let me just circle back around to some previous thoughts, 'cause, this kinda upset me a little bit. Gita is the only reason why Logan accepts the Primaris.
Yeah, because she convinces Null that it's important.
God, you just leave it to the Space Wolves to be obstinate jerks, and then a prophecy from one of their own comes, and they're like, "Oh, well, it's in this game, let's go."
Yeah.
Oh, I hate it so much.
I mean, they made it pretty clear that they only care about stuff that's about them.
It's so stupid. Fuck. Alright, moving on before I get angry.
But yeah, like you could do something like, oh, well, the astropaths picked up some weird thing, but like they need this other psyker to complete the rest of the message.
Yeah.
You got to go get them before like they die.
Mhm.
Um, y- you know, you could easily do a Primaris Marine going to their stated chapter, their unnumbered son, and being like, all right, this is gonna be like a little adventure about like becoming accepted by this home chapter that they don't want you around for X amount of reasons. Uh
Yeah.
Maybe not as terrifically obstinate, but you can at least present them and then be like, no, we don't trust you for like these 5 different reasons. Why would we?
Yeah.
Um I don't know, you can't pull anything from a work game, that's for sure.
Yeah. You just gotta rely on the group at that point and, fully expect them to be ridiculous gits like they should be.
Mm,
Like that one episode we had in what was it, Arc 5, right?
yeah.
That was brilliant. Let's retread that. That whole thing as a campaign. That was fun.
Well, if we ever got an orc player's guide, I might have to worry about that, but
Yeah.
right now,
Never gonna happen,
right
don't worry
now,
about it.
Cubicle 7 isn't giving me a reason to worry about.
What scene would you like to see animated from this book?
Oh, 100% the teardown.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'd
okay.
love to see Primaris bring wheel on like 5 other space wolves and be like, "This is why you're terrible," and then the scene ends by him jumping out of
Yeah,
the
taking his
gun.
armor off, bare chest, and just like
That whole
yeah,
bit of like, he hands off the little totem and it's like, "I'll put it on your gun." It's funny. Like they start chuckling. And it's like, "What's the joke?" They go through the whole thing. And like
yeah.
that would be good in the sense of like, yeah, this is what you're acting like, and this is why he's calling you out.
Mm.
They'd never get away with animating the Night Lord thing. Never.
I thought that was gonna be your answer.
No, no, they'd never get away with it.
All right. For me, the battle with the Kraken was pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
I'd like to see that. That could be interesting. A lot of heavy animation for most people though, because of the water and whatnot. Um, what would you add or remove from the book if given the option?
Oh, add? I don't know.
Add or remove?
Probably some orcs. Probably some more actual fighting aboard.
Yeah,
Literally anything about orc.
let me
Anything.
see. Let me see more of them orcs. Yeah.
It shouldn't be 10% orcs
Yeah.
and orcs that aren't even related to Fenris.
Yeah.
It should be much more about orcs on Fenris. Like I thought the whole planet was supposed to be invaded by orcs and they're fighting them off or whatever. No, they're just sitting around not doing anything.
Yeah.
Whatever. I would add orcs. Remove. Jeez.
I mean, you don't have to have something like
No, like
I have something. I know what I'm.
to make the story tighter, you would to at least more focus. You'd have to take away something to be like, no, no, no. This is the interesting part of the book. You'd have to take away like the Night Lord introduction bit
Yeah.
because it's more interesting than what goes on the rest of the book.
Yeah.
Actually, I really did find the extraneous orc pirate ship thing, like them taking over that vessel as that's like 50 pages of nothing.
You guys hear that? Once again, a Navy combat that he didn't want in a book.
Well, it's not even that. It's just like, I don't care. I don't care that orcs took this ship over. I don't care that the crazy survivor survives and then gets put into a penal battalion at the very end.
Brutal.
And he's like, cool, yeah, I'm happy. I get to go kill the Emperor's enemies. It's not even grimdark. It's
Respect.
just stupid.
It is stupid. Whole book's stupid.
It's like, it's like, I don't, like, this isn't even sad. It's just weird.
Yeah.
Any other reasonable person would have been like, "No, this dude's nuts."
Yeah.
So, like, I guess he did turn on these people, like, on the orcs. He still failed in the first place, though, so we should probably just space him.
Yeah. So, in the spirit of space wolf obstinance, I have an answer for this question.
Okay.
I would have had the entire book scrapped.
Oh, come on.
Back to board, think of something else. Stay
Well,
petty, my friends.
that was never gonna happen.
But a real answer now. I think they gotta get rid of the bit with the Night Lords, cut that entirely. They could have cut the entire plot with Gita and the locals, redirect Gaius and them to the Space Hulk, have them do something that proves themselves, and make it about, self-worth and empowerment and proving that you're worth a damn. Simple. But they didn't, 'cause they, true to form, wanted to be difficult and obstinate throughout this entire novel. Ugh.
I just think that if you have a book about a space Hulk full of orcs, you should be on the space
Yes,
Hulk.
so there should be a planetary invasion. Do it, you cowards. Have Fenris be attacked by the orc.
I mean, they just got attacked by Magnus. I get it. But, like, there just was like, saying that this book is about orcs is not
It's
correct.
not. Like, they should have made it, another invasion of Fenris, and they're fighting tooth and nail to survive. Put more impetus into,
Yeah.
like, the
So,
desire.
okay, so Xenos prey on human worlds in numbers not seen for millennia. Worst amongst them are the rampaging orcs, whose migration conquests threaten to reverse the many gains of Fleet Primus, and their throaty bellows carry a name not heard in years of destruction made flesh, the bestial warlord without peer, Gaskell Mag Urkthraka. And in the midst of this brutal tide is Fenris. That's just not true.
Yeah, we were lied to.
Like, it's not there. There's not enough in this book to where you can say this is a brutal tide of orc destruction. If half of this book was orcs and half the book was space wolves, then it would have been fine.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's like 1/10 orcs, 80% space wolves, and 10% night lords.
It's
And that's not the ratio that was necessary here.
it hurts because he is 100% correct. This book, it gets a pass. Let's wrap this up. This
Oh,
this t this
okay,
turn
yeah.
of the turn of the
How
shot.
grimdark would you say this book is?
Oh, it's gonna get a solid 1 out of 10.
Yeah, there's not enough that actually happens in the book to call it grimdark.
Yeah.
It's very average. Gita's fate is very sad. So, um, I guess I would call I guess I'd probably like one is something on for me. It's like the 1 to 10 scale of like 10 being like this is actually like really great, and it feels right in the tone and everything like that.
Yeah.
Um, or 10 being that, but 1 being like, this isn't even a 40K novel. Um, I'd probably put it at like, you know, 2.5, 3. Like it's a 40K book. It has basically like a single point of being poignantly grimdark. Like Mudire having a freak out of like I cannot believe that we wasted so much to get literally nothing. Even though Goldman's like, no, 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 that's all true.
Yeah.
Thanks for the report. It's all true.
Hey,
It's like, "What?"
don't
It's
make
like,
me
"What
have
do
to
you mean
mind.
it's true?" It's like, "No, it's true."
The only reason why I'm not mind swiping you is because I need you for other more important things.
Yeah, it's like, "No, no,
You're
no.
dismissed.
Don't worry, it's true." It's like,
Ah,
which is funny, but, like, whatever. Um, so yeah, like a 2.5, 3.
yeah,
Um,
generous. Any closing thoughts before we wrap this episode up?
it's good that we got to see dark-skinned Ferencians on the cover. Most people don't realize that there are, in fact, dark-skinned Ferencians, and I did not know that until I looked into it, and they're from generally the southern island chains on Fenris.
I
But they
was
get recruited essentially exclusively by the sea wolves.
I was woefully ignorant of it as well,
Yeah.
and I was happy to learn it.
I was like, "Oh, cool! They brought in dark-skinned Fenrisians. They've always been there. They just brought them up.
Yeah.
So cool. All right, whatever.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
sure people threw a fit about it,
well, I'm sure they did.
but
Yeah, I don't have any closing thoughts. I just want this to be done. And so it will be. All right. That is going to do it for this episode of Book Club. Stay tuned next time as we will be taking a break from the Dawn of Fire series to read For the Emperor, the first book in the Caiaphas Cain series written by Sandy Mitchell, and we will have a special guest with us to review alongside us. As always, thanks for listening, and we will see you all in the next one. Bye.